You ever heard of Monica McNutt? You have now, because she's on First Take a lot. Shanae Ogumake, absolutely wonderful, spectacular basketball analyst, etc., WNBA player in her own right. Ask her how it's been to be on First Take. How about Andrea Carter, who's a rising star in this business? How much do you think First Take helped that? What about Kimberly Martin? What about Molly Kiram herself? Now, I have sat back for years and taken a lot of shit from people. Some who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Some who act like they don't know just because they want to get at me. I could care less about people getting at me. I just want you to be accurate.
Have you ever watched something so awkward on live TV, you had to rewind it just to make sure it really happened? Well, that's exactly what went down on ESPN's First Take. And ever since, fans have been lighting up the comments, questioning if the network has completely lost touch with sports culture. Shannon Sharpe is out. Stephen A. Smith is scrambling. And somehow, a legendary Hall of Famer just got mistaken for a college kid with the same last name. What you're about to see isn't just a one-off mistake. It's a sign that something much bigger is happening. And it might explain why ESPN's most famous show is suddenly falling apart in real time. When Shannon Sharpe left ESPN, it wasn't just a roster change. It was a seismic shift in the show's energy. Love him or hate him, Shannon brought a level of charisma, authority, and raw passion that connected with both casual viewers and hardcore football fans. He wasn't just another analyst. He was must-see TV.
So he's dealing with this oblique injury after he balled out in his first preseason game. Currently fourth on the depth chart in Cleveland. What do you think about what's going on with that, Sanders?
Oh, man, it's crazy how they doing my boy, man, honestly. But he balled out. So I low-key love that he got this chance to play in this preseason game because it showed, like, y'all can doubt him and y'all can say all that stuff y'all saying about him. But what God got for the boy, can't stop it. That way he put that wrist up.
That's
you
right.
see him put that wrist up. After that, when he tapped that wrist, like, make sure that watch still there.
That's right.
That watch still shining, boy.
Damn right.
It's still shining, boy.
So when First Take pushed forward without him, it didn't just feel different, it felt empty. The debates fell flat, the chemistry was off, and suddenly, Stephen A. Smith, a guy known for dominating the room, looked like he was talking to himself. And the timing couldn't have been worse. Right as the NFL preseason was heating up, ESPN's top debate show lost its most respected football voice. You could see the awkward pivot in real time. Trying to fill Shannon's absence with hot takes, viral guests, and forced banter, but viewers weren't fooled. Instead of rising to the moment, First Take started slipping fast. Fans tuned in expecting real insight and dynamic debate, but what they got felt more like a try-hard attempt to stay relevant. And ESPN's questionable next move only made it worse. While First Take was scrambling to recover from Shannon Sharpe's exit, another ESPN name was creating even more chaos. And this time, it almost cost the network millions.
No. This is Barry Sanders.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
The man is wearing a Barry Sanders jersey. Barry Sanders has a case. He may not win it, but he has a case for the greatest football player of all time. He has a case for that. He's got a strong case, although I give it to Jim Brown, for the greatest running back of all time. And we've so over-indexed on race bait and Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders that Monica McNutt sees the name Sanders on a football jersey, and even though it's wearing number 20, her factory settings go, well, Shedeur Sanders, and let's talk about Shedeur Sanders, and let's talk about what's going on with Shedeur Sanders, who's played one exhibition game, then hurt his oblique. We've gone completely nuts. The ESPN and what they've done to sports media, it's embarrassing.
Pat McAfee, one of ESPN's biggest investments, went viral for all the wrong reasons. On his show, he repeated unverified rumors about an NFL figure. And the second that clip hit social media, the backlash was immediate. Legal threats followed. The credibility of ESPN was on the line. And suddenly, McAfee had to walk back everything live, delivering a carefully worded apology that felt more like a legal strategy than real regret. And here's the part most people missed. That entire controversy barely made headlines. Why? Because all the attention was still on Shannon Sharpe's departure and the fallout from First Take. ESPN's two biggest personalities, McAfee and Stephen A., were both at the center of collapsing trust, distracted viewers, and growing fan criticism. Instead of cleaning up one mess, ESPN found itself juggling two, while trying to act like nothing was wrong. But instead of course correcting, ESPN doubled down, inviting a viral comedian on air in what felt like a desperate reach for clicks. If ESPN was hoping to regain momentum, bringing on Druski wasn't the answer. For those unfamiliar, Druski is an internet comedian known more for viral skits than sports knowledge. So when he showed up on First Take, sitting next to Stephen A. Smith like a legitimate panelist, fans immediately knew something was off. It didn't feel fresh or innovative. It felt like ESPN was panicking, trying to manufacture a viral moment to distract from its falling credibility. And let's be honest, it's not that Druski isn't entertaining, but this is First Take, a show built on fiery debates and legit sports commentary, not stand-up routines in the middle of football discussions. Watching it unfold felt like tuning into a remix of TikTok Live meets ESPN2. The segment left viewers confused. Was this supposed to be funny? Insightful? Both? Neither? Instead of bridging the gap to a younger audience, it highlighted just how far ESPN has drifted from its roots. The core fan base, the ones who tune in for football takes, not comedy sketches, wanted no part of it. But the real problem wasn't Druski's appearance. It was what happened immediately after, and who exposed just how unprepared this panel really was. This was the moment fans couldn't believe actually happened. During the segment with Druski, who was wearing a classic Detroit Lions jersey, Monica McNutt looked straight at one of the most iconic numbers in NFL history and said it was a Shedeur Sanders jersey. Yeah, that happened. The man was wearing a number 20 Barry Sanders jersey, an actual Hall of Famer, one of the greatest running backs in football history. And Monica McNutt mistook it for Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son, who's barely even touched the NFL yet. The internet exploded. Twitter, X users, forum threads, and comment sections lit up, calling it one of the most embarrassing takes aired on live TV. And let's be real, this wasn't just a casual slip-up. Barry Sanders isn't some obscure player. He's literally in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What made it worse? McNutt wasn't joking. She was dead serious. And ESPN offered no correction, no save, no accountability. It was more than just a bad moment. It was a symbol of what ESPN has become. A show more focused on going viral than actually knowing the sport. And that moment put one name directly in the spotlight. The Barry Sanders blunder didn't just put Monica McNutt in the hot seat. It turned the spotlight on Stephen A. Smith himself. Why? Because according to Stephen A., this is his show. He's gone on record multiple times saying he handpicks every co-host, analyst, and personality who shares the screen with him on First Take. So when a moment this embarrassing happens, misidentifying one of the most legendary players in NFL history, the accountability doesn't stop at Monica. It lands squarely back on Stephen A. And fans aren't letting that slide. Comments immediately flooded in. You picked her? This is the expert you chose? How's this the best show if your hosts don't recognize Barry Sanders? What's even harder to ignore is that this wasn't some temp guest. Monica McNutt has appeared regularly on First Take, and this is the kind of mistake you don't walk away from without people questioning the entire vetting process behind ESPN's most watched debate show. Stephen A. loves to remind everyone he's the face of the network, the leader, the engine, the boss. Great. That means he owns the wins and the losses. And this one? It hit ESPN straight in the credibility. The Monica McNutt moment wasn't an isolated incident. It was a symptom of a bigger problem ESPN has been trying to cover up for years. This network used to be the gold standard in sports journalism. Deep analysis, real stories, sharp, informed commentary. Now, it feels like ESPN is throwing darts, hoping something, anything, sticks, replacing experienced voices with viral personalities, prioritizing shareability over substance. We've seen more and more of these moments add up. Analysts fumbling basic facts, shows prioritizing shock value over sports IQ, and debates that feel more like scripted skits than passionate, informed discussion. The audience isn't stupid. They can tell when a show's heart isn't in the game anymore. And honestly, it's not just about Monica or even Stephen A. It's about the future of sports media, the integrity of coverage, the quality control that ESPN used to be known for, now slowly slipping away in plain sight. This new version of ESPN, it's corporate, clumsy, and completely disconnected from the culture that made it legendary in the first place. And that growing disconnect is exactly why fans are starting to fight back, loudly. Fans didn't just cringe at Monica McNutt's mistake. They called it out immediately on Twitter, X, YouTube comments, Reddit threads, and even ESPN's own posts. The message was clear. We want better. These are just angry trolls. These are lifelong sports fans, the people who made First Take one of the most watched shows in sports history. Now, they're asking hard questions. Why are internet comedians being treated like analysts? Why are basic facts being butchered on live TV? And most of all, who's actually in charge? A new generation of viewers is finding better, sharper content outside of ESPN. Podcasts like Club Shay Shay, The Pivot, and I Am Athlete are delivering raw conversations and real insight. No filters, no scripts, no fluff. And fans are paying attention. It's not about canceling anyone. It's about credibility. ESPN once stood for excellence in sports coverage. Now, anytime something goes viral, it's usually for the wrong reasons. With every clip that goes off the rails, fans are drifting further. And ESPN's grip on culture, it's slipping fast. If change doesn't happen soon, the audience might not be there when they finally get it right. ESPN built its brand on one word: credibility. It wasn't just about being first. It was about being right. It was the network you could turn to when you wanted serious, intelligent sports talk. But now, the mistakes aren't just minor slip-ups. They're signs of a deeper identity crisis. Let's be real. Moments like Monica McNutt confusing Barry Sanders with Shedeur Sanders should never happen on a show like First Take. And bringing on viral entertainers over knowledgeable experts isn't just risky, it's a red flag. Stephen A. Smith wants to remind us that this is his show. Fine, but ownership means accountability. And when the product starts to feel like a parody of itself, there's no excuse, especially when the fans are this vocal about what's wrong. The truth is, ESPN doesn't need more gimmicks. It needs to get back to what made it great: real sports debate, real knowledge, and real respect for the game. Because if they don't, the next viral moment won't just be embarrassing, it might be irreversible.